I've been a professional diversity trainer for many, many years. And identity is very fluid. It is forever changing. There's nothing absolute about it whatsoever. Okay? There's no right, there's no wrong, constantly shifting. And there's so much that's in it. And what I can say is that you cannot judge another person for the way that they identify. You can't judge somebody for their identity as a Christian, how they identify as a man or a woman or racially or anything else. The stuff is complex. It is really complex. And I think more than anything, we need to pay attention to what does that trigger in us? What does that trigger in us? And, you know, what I'm about to say is probably going to piss a lot of people off. Okay? But I am telling you what I know. Okay? The only time this stuff ever really matters is when somebody thinks that somebody else is getting away with something, some kind of privilege or entitlement because they have identified, you know, this way. And that can swing either way. So if I use traditional language of like the more marginalized and the people in the more dominant position, that the more dominant folks don't want anybody having any favors or any privileges or whatnot that might somehow or another be at their expense. Okay? They don't want to have that. And the other marginalized folks want you in the pot with them. So you are whatever. If you black and don't claim that you black, if you are gay and are running around trying to be straight, or if you are whatever it is that you are, there's this sense of that shouldn't be allowed. You need to be in this mess with the rest of us. You ain't no better than any of the rest of us. Get up off of thinking that you all that. You just like one of us. Now, I'm sure that just is pissing a whole bunch of people off. And I realize that her stuff has a lot more nuance to it in terms of what was going on and her lawsuit and the discrimination and all the rest of that. But all I can say is that the stuff is really fluid. It is really, really fluid. And there is a, how can I put it? There's a backlash. I know, so I'm 60, I'm 59. And there's an irony that even the discussions that are going on amongst younger people about race that sometimes offends and pisses me off, part of the reason why I'm so pissed is that they have so much entitlement to be able to come from those perspectives in the first place. But did I not fight for their entitlement? So when I fight for people not to be judged as a color, but the character, and then they take it one step further and say, well, I'm not even a color at all. It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Slow down.
Slow your roll. No, wait. Now, I didn't want you to be judged for your color, but what you talking about? So I'm holding on to even the things that I say I'm liberating them from. You can't judge. You really can't judge. And yes, they make for interesting, wonderful discussions. I'm in the thick of it. I love a good discussion about this stuff. All I'm saying is let's make it about the issues and not demonize this one person and get up all in her business. Because it's not about her. You know, there are bigger issues. And quiet is kept, race is just a social construct anyway. It has no validity. It has no biology back behind it. It was a social construct designed in the 1500s to justify the transatlantic slave trade. That's what it was. And it created this whole continuum of this notion of biological hierarchy that put white at the top, I know I'm pissing people off, black at the bottom, so that anything that mixed in with white stopped being white. So it kept white pure, and anything that touched black any kind of way was black. Black in anything is black. Just one great grandparent. And that's not to say that there aren't other races or that there aren't other issues, but the construct of race itself is this. You know? So I remember when I was in Ghana and my host saying about Obama, you know, why do you keep calling him black? His mother is white. Why does everybody keep calling him black? His mother is white. Yeah, it was a good question. You know? It was a good question.
Yeah.
It's complex. There's a lot in it. But I tell you what really did it for me. And then I got to run. Conversation I had with my father. He was probably 75, 80 at the time. He died when he was 90, 2 years ago. And he was upset about the term African American. Okay, now, he was a pharmacist.
Wow.
He was born in Compton. He grew up in Los Angeles, spent 90 years in L.A., you know, typical war vet, the whole 9 yards. He went to USC, sent his kids to USC, met his wife there, my mom. He's telling me this story now. So he's born in 1922. He says, and even though he's from California, he's still at that slow black man drawl thing. I would say spare you a couple of the superlatives. But he said, oh, hell, you in folks, you know, don't know what you want. He said, I went to the war, and I was proud to be a Negro because I wasn't a colored boy anymore. And then I sent y'all off to school, and you come back, and you tell me I'm a black man. And just when I got used to being a black man, now you tell me I'm an African American. Oh, hell, you folk don't know what you want. I'm going back to being a Negro. At least then I knew who I was. When he said that, something on a cellular level hit me. Their life, their experience, that all of this was making him lose his sense of self. That's why I say you gotta let people be. Don't make it about her. You know, and now she says she identifies as black.
Yes. That's it.
And that's all I'm saying, is that right. I think the woman was caught up in all this socio-political blah, blah, blah stuff that's not absolute. It's very fluid. the most important thing, everybody needs to have a sense of who they are. Mm-hmm. And when you really are comfortable with who you are, it don't matter anybody else.
Yep.
Now, I've learned that years ago. The only people that have problems with me being gay are people who have unresolved issues about their own sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
People who are comfortable with who they are don't care. They don't care. Even if they have religious beliefs or whatnot to the otherwise, they aren't charged by it. I hate to say that to everybody, but ask yourself, why does it bother you so?